Good morning, people. How are you all doing? Are we live? Are we live and ticking? Drop a like if you can hear me because I am absolutely looking forward for this podcast today because we have a lot of things. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I am looking at myself here on the screen and it looks like I am live. So all good comes to in three. And it's Wednesday today. I hope you're up bright and early. Let's stretch together because I can see you. Lucky Singh is in the house. Stephanie Griffith is in the house. Carlos and everyone is waiting and waiting because all good comes to three. What does that mean, Mick? You know what? Before I continue, I want to shout out to Jack Harrigathy that actually before this donated me a coffee. So we started this new thing, and yeah, we're gonna dive in everything. But I just want to promote a little bit. If you like what we are doing here as content creator, you know that Mick is driven by coffee, and this is my rocket fuel to keep me going and keep providing good content to you guys. So yeah, have a look at this little bit advertisement page. Let's have a drink of your coffee, your tea, or whatever you're drinking this time of round. Well, hello, and welcome to Mufc Realist TV. This is the donation page. If you are really appreciating the content that we're producing, go and visit simply buymeacoffee.com/MUFC Realist TV. There you can show your appreciation, as you know that Mick loves his coffee. That is his rocket fuel that fuels him during the day to produce content for you Manchester United fans all over the world. Just simply go in there, select if you want to buy me a coffee, a beer, a pizza, whatever you think. Select one coffee, three coffees, six coffees, five coffees. Hell, as many coffees you want. Leave a comment like Angie has done here as an example. Let me just read. I love my coffee nearly as much as you do, Mick. As I got to cut down to 3 mugs a day, there's no one else that I like to share an extra mug but with you. Mick at the Realist TV, the best football channel and host that gives us all the best news and updates on our favorite team, Manchester United FC. What are you waiting for? If you want to support us, be like Angie, buy us a coffee, support the team, support the content, because everything that you're donating goes right back into the channel for better content such this to you. Thank you for listening and go ahead, buy us a coffee.
Nice.
So, absolutely, we're going to dig into this stories today because we have a lot of things to unpack. But before we do, this is the absolutely new layout. You can see that support me a coffee. We have the notification. As soon as you support me with the coffee, I will get that notification popping out and I can see who donated the coffee. But a big shout out to Jack Harrigathy that actually before the donated €5 to bought me a coffee. So I'm all rented up. Let's see who's in the VER room. Let's just all warm up. Let's see who's here. I'm gonna shout out everyone before we continue, people. It's bright and early, isn't it? Right? Awesome. For Amrabat, Stephanie Griffiths in the house. Lucky Singh, Brendan William, and Pelistrix want money for the transfers. We're going to talk about that as well. Who else do we see here? I see you, Jamie Wayne, as well. Yale Malmin. 100%. I see you as well. Yala is also there. Let's see. What's going to do is just shouting out to everyone. I hope you are nice and fresh this morning. And then we can go into the news. Morning, Liquor. Hello, Liquor. How are you? Morning, lads and lasses. Hope you're all good. 100%. We are fine and dandy. Carlos, top of the day, top of the morning to you as well. Carlos, it's what we say here as well. Jason is in the house as well. Jason, attack, attack, attack. That's what the Manchester United mantra is. Attack, 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 isn't it, Jason? By signing the new centre-back will push Maguire further down the list. The pecking order might make him think again about staying, probably the deadline exit. Yes, we are speaking the same language, Mr. Attack. We are going to cover that later on as well. So, yes, Lucky Singh is saying as well, we want money for Brandon Williams. We want money for Pelistri moves. Don't know really about the Pelistri one. There was an inquiry. As far as I understand, Ten Hag needs to approve it. Otherwise, Pelistric, I don't know, it's Pelistri, not Pelistric. He's not Serbian, is what I understood. Yeah, or Croatian. Let's see. Carlos was also saying, sounds good to me. Everyone is happy. Stephanie Griffith is in the house. Who else do we have here, people? I see you. Jim Defoe Jim is in the house, D64. Good evening, top of the morning to you, Jim. How are you doing today? Where are you chatting from? Let us know where you chatting from. Where's the location? Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? Depends on where you are in the world. David, I can see you as well. 100% David. What are you saying, David? Morning, Mick, and chatting everyone. Morning, David Main, to you as well. How are you feeling today? Are we like me, a little bit old, pull up stiff and sore, like the back is hurting? On the back of everything yesterday, thank you for the brilliant podcast. We did dust up the Manchester United Blues. Basically, we are trying to be united as a fan base. It's been far too much toxic divide and conquer with the Mason Greenwood stories and the transfer news. And when I say all three comes in threes, I'm going to explain what that means. I've always been saying that, it's been three topics that's been burning for us fans, and there's been the transfers, 100%. There's been the Mason Greenwood situation that's been resolved, and now the takeover, 100%, which we are going to dive in, David, as well. Lucky seeing David is also here. Good morning to you, David. Where are you from, David? I see you. Good morning from Spain. España, Español. Oi, oi. Good, good, good. You must be having a scorching weather over there, because where I'm sitting right now, autumn is coming. I'm in Sweden. Yep. ¿Cómo estás? Let me see. Who else? Lisa. I know you're from Denmark, Lisa. Big up to you, Lisa Jensen. And Stephanie, big up to all of you. Amazing, amazing community. P.S. James is also saying good morning to everyone. Say hello back to P.S. James. Morning, Mick Ruby. You rock. Excited to hear what you have to say. Fire, fire, fire. Yeah, we're all listening. We are listening, right? Are we? Yeah. We're going to dive into it. I'm not going to sort of troll you anymore. Compost Smurf. Smurf is in the house as well. Oh, one of our regulars, one of our members, Compost Smurf. Nice timing of these stories. Get Greenwood off the back pages. Nothing suspicious at all. No. It has just been a lot of rumblings around where he's going to end up going. But, you know, it most likely is going to go to Italy or Turkey, or where we have good relationship with Fenerbahce, or Inter, or even Atalanta, because there was kind of talk when they were talking about the negotiations with a Rasmus Højlund. There was kind of like early then the even intermediates were talking to potential for Greenwood, and that might be something for him. So that's best, like get him out to play football. By my understanding, they're not selling him; it's still on the books. They're just loaning him out, and until the dust settles, and then we see how it goes. It's typical Manchester United. We're going to talk about that as well. But no more Greenwood stories today, because all good three things comes in one, in pairs, right? Jarvis, my wingman. What do you have to say, Jarvis? Are we deducting Snickers from you? You're not part of the stream, Jarvis. Good morning to you, all the way from Tromsø, Norway. My wingman, I'm Maverick, and you're Goose, right? Hey, where are you, Jarvis? Hey, I'll see you later tonight. David is here as well, saying, what are you saying, David? Let me see. Love your Kawasaki motorcycle, or what is it? Good morning, everyone, and good health. Good morning to you, Hindle, as well. Hindi. Jarvis is saying, like, he's warming up you the VAR room. He is absolutely saying, smash the like, people, the VAR legends. Lindwall is saying also, Mr. Stewart is saying, we need rumor to be healed. Yeah, we need to be healed. Patch up and go. We are actually playing on Saturday, and we have a special announcement also from 1958 and United against the Glazers. They're going to read out later on in this stream. Red G is also here. And God, this is so slow. Why is this slow? Good morning. And to you also, Jarvis Cocker. Yeah, you all loved Jarvis. Don't you worry. Jensen is also here saying Harry Maguire is bad luck for Manchester United. Yeah, he is a little bit bad luck. This is kind of like a rotten bad apple that don't want to live. Like, you have the stinking egg sitting in the dressing room, or the party pooper that is don't want to leave and stays to the last guest and doesn't realize it's time to leave. We've spoken about this. We will see what will happen. It looks like West Ham had enough and walked away. So what's going to happen? 100% that Ten Hag is not going to play him. Ten Hag is going to play him with reserves. He's not even going to get a sniff because, hey, we offered Johnny Evans even a contract for 1 year. So that just tells you delusion FC, right? So it is leverage, what we're talking about. It is his agent that's trying to sort of leverage it out. And I think who's got the upper hand, it's just basically my Schwartz is bigger than yours. If you've seen Spaceballs, like, may the Schwartz be with you. And that's what we're going to be like, because at the end of the day, Scott McTominay needs to go. Maguire needs to go. And we're going to talk about Brendan Williams as well sooner or later. But let's move on, people. Let's move on. I have to shout out people that I haven't seen in the VR room before. Nippon is in the house. Shavni. Morning, Mick. How reliable is the Sun's report of the takeover? It has some legs, to be honest, and I'm going to talk to you about that, because what we're going to do here today is I'm going to take everything what's been said in the media, know what I've been knowing, because you that have been following me knows that I've been doing this podcast, Glazer Up podcast, intensively for the past 9 months. And last time when I had Swedish Rumble, I said, this is the last thing that I'm going to do. I laid down all the foundation. Everything is there. All the details is there. And I've always been saying that, you will not have a takeover news until after the transfer. And we're going to dive into that and what the Sun is saying and what the rest of the papers are saying. So let me know which order you want to take. So I think everyone wants to take the Jassim takeover news first. But before we do that, even David Main is saying, good point here. What are you going to say here, David? I believe the true Rio, Reuters, Bloomberg, Mick, etc. have said it already. NDA is stopping it from being announced until it's completed. You're absolutely reading my mind. Are you sitting here somewhere? Yeah, because you know what? Certain people have information. And what I want to say here is, like, it is very, very dangerous game to, if you're sitting on the information, to tweet it out or to say, because in today's Twitter society, social media, people are going to kill you straight away. Like, to ask you, oh, you're an ITK, or, you don't know shit. Where's your sources and all that stuff. But for me, I'm GGMU, right? That's glory, glory, Manchester United. So sharing is caring. If I sitting on certain information, if I'm sitting close and speaking to Sheikhh Jassim's group or within the network to find out what's really going on. And you can, if you just pause for a second and think, have you heard anything from the Ineos camp? It's absolutely died. So we're going to talk about that as well. Yeah, Jim is in UK, 100%. 17 likes, what Stephanie saying. Push those likes up. Let's get up to, let's push it up to 100 likes, and people are calling me already. Actually, I had some update from Alfredo Padula just now as well on WhatsApp, so I'm going to share that with you as well. So please smash that like. Piyush is also in the house saying, what are you saying, Piyush? Oh, thoughts on the takeover? Do you think it's credible? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Maybe. Listen, this is crazy. I'm totally alone. Morning, Mick. Morning, peace. Your place in the cosmos. Are we landed yet? Have we landed from cosmos? You definitely have a place here in this VER room. Nikos, I haven't seen you for a while, my friend. How are you, sir? Let's see. Funny how accept what the Sun are reporting about the takeover. Listen, they do have something. There's something in it, right? There's something in it. ITNT is saying as well, another spin story. Well, let's unpack it, guys. Let's unpack it and let's do this. I am done shouting out. There's so many of you here. Listen, I wish I could shout out anyone else, but you know what? We have limited of time. And let's just get into it. Lisa Jensen as well. Good morning. Hello to me as well. Sorry. What would we be without shouting out Lisa Jensen Olsen all the way from Denmark? And Lisa, you must be proud because apparently your countryman, 20-year-old Rasmus Højlund, is going to start or be on the bench on Saturday. How exciting is that? Listen, yeah, Brian. Yeah, I forgot to mention a newcomer, Brian Moran, saying hello. Say hello back all to Brian Moran, and Welsh Girl 68 is also in the house. Now we can almost have a full team to know Pavard and Maguire to Debo for me. Yes. Listen, I am looking out for some members here to say hello to you. Otherwise, you're going to get upset with me because I didn't shout you out. No, I think I've done the run. Are we all warmed up? Are we? So let me know Viking is coming. Yes, Viking is coming in. We should wait for Viking, but Viking can also catch up afterwards as well. So what should we start with? Should we start with the takeover news? Because I guess that everyone is asking about it. So, as I said, there's been some reports regarding Sheikhh Jassim and the 6 billion XYZ takeover. And, I've been saying that for quite a while. It's been a sort of done and dusted quite a while ago. It's just been very quiet because of this tragedy that, if you remember that as soon as the transfer market started, everything went just quiet. And there's been too much PR to deal with the club in terms of what's going to happen with Mason Greenwood. It's like a PR disaster how they handle that, and then shut everything down because of the transfer market strategy that we're not going to announce the takeover because our strategy in the window is to say we don't have any money, we're not going to be taken to the dry cleaners, and that has been kind of the strategy. Like, we're not overpaying, and so far it's been working. We've been balancing the books a little bit, and we've been trying to get the fire sales out, like, clear the deadwoods. And unfortunately, Harry Maguire has kind of cock blocked it a little bit with his agent and stuff like that. So that is kind of a little bit of delay with the 10 days left on the transfer window. But let's just dive into the stories, people. Let's just do this and just go right into it. Okay. On the back of everything with the mirror and the sun and everything. So let's just dive into the stories all together. Okay. We all know what headlines are, right? Everyone reads the headlines, but what is more interesting, it's actually the content, what they are writing. So basically, it came out yesterday. It started with the Sun. I think it was Neil Custis or something. They keep following up, and at the end of the day, I see people, I'm not going to believe it until I hear Fabrizio Romano saying it or Mike Keegan. But hang on a second, why is it so? They're sports journalists. I believe more in the financial figures. I believe what's coming out from Reuters, Bloomberg's, and all this stuff, and what I'm hearing from 92 Holding Foundation. So it's basically saying out. I'm going to read it out to you, people. Inhala, exhala. Breathe in, breathe out. British billionaire Jim Ratcliffe has been in competition with the Qatari royal ever since the Glazer family announced its opening sales of Old Trafford Club, and Sheikhh Jassim is apparently out. Yeah, it's been dead quiet from Ineos camp. Like, he's been blown out of the water. We all know the story that Sheikhh Jassim has won the Manchester United takeover race and will complete the $6 billion deal in October, according to the reports. Now, interesting that, because my network was originally saying that this will be announced after the transfer window closes. You can figure out why. Because all the three things, right? Will it be September or will it be in mid-October? It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because the rush within the fan base was more of the notion that we need to get the more owners in so we can have money for the transfer window injection. But at the end of the day, with the FFP in rules in place, even if you had the new ownership coming in, they could not inject more than 50, 60 million pounds, to be honest. So there was no rush in certain ways. But we keep going to say that British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been in competition with the Qatar Royals ever since the Glazer family announced it. Yes, that we all know. There's nothing new in this, but this came out of the top report of the Sun. I'm just quoting these people. I'm just quoting, and together we are going to unpack it, right? I'm going to put my thought process to it. At the end of the day, what I'm saying, I want you to use your common sense, logic, and reasoning. We look at one side of the story, we look on the other side of the story, and what we say, the truth is in the middle. It's your interpretation, right? But we just put our logic hats on here, right? Okay. So the Glazers were initially taken to retain the shares. We know this story. We've seen that the complicated deal, what Ineos was trying to do, they were not cash rich. They were more in asset rich. They had to liquidate a lot of assets in order to purchase. It's been confusing. Ineos has been trying, to confuse the Glazers and the Rain Group by saying, okay, we will offer you now 2 billion now, and then we will offer you something down the line, like a down payment, 3 years. You tell us what the buyer clause will be. But at the end of the day, it comes down to cash. And this is something the Glazers love, right? It's all about the evaluation. At the end of the day, if we're talking about 115 million of those shares is owned by Class B, by the Glazer families, right? So it comes down to the premium buyout. And that premium buyout can be anything between $35 per share to 38. We don't know that. But if that comes together, there was even reports the same 7.3, if you remember, 7.2. That means that they bought it out on the Class B. The remaining period of the 31%, which is the Class A retail share, takes time to acquire. And that where you saw some legal procedures, due diligence, and takes time. But what matters is that if you have come to agreement to buy the 69%, you have the keys to the kingdom. But then it comes down to, let's not announce it now. Let's wait for everything to settle, and then we can do the transaction. So that is what I've been saying all along, in a way. That's just my humble opinion. Um, but they are now saying that it's finalized to be finalized in mid-October. Well, depends on the project plan. There is something in it, people. Just because it comes from the sun or the mirror doesn't mean that we have to sort of blow it out of the water. Let me know what you think, right? If it's mid-October, then happy days, because my birthday is on the 13th of October. That would be a perfect gift for me, to be honest. But I'm not stressing about this at the end of the day, like, because you know what matters is the glazes are out. That what matters is that we are turning the page and we have a potential new ownership. And what matters is that we've been doing the forensic investigation. We've been calling out the press and the media for having sort of a media war to win the Pulitzer Prize, to accuse the Bloombergs and the Reuters for being fake news and XYZ. And I'm just saying, well, you're a sports journalist, been taking like a crash course in the doing the PR spin and trying to educate people to say that that is fake news. You should just stick to sports journalism at the end of the day. Like, so that is kind of paper talk ads what it's saying. But you know what? Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you what you think. This is just my take on it. At the end of the day, right? Let me go. I'm going to go to the comments to see what you are saying. Um, yeah, Brian is saying straightforward information. Yeah, Romano is only good for transfer news, and this is it. Like, stick to the transfer news, right? But at the end of the day, whatever I'm thinking here, you can always go back to the video list instead of me regurgitating. Because if you go on the video list, you see Glazer Out podcast, you will see over 60 videos where I lay down all the foundation, right? At the end of the day, all roads, what I've been saying, leads to Qatar and Doha. If Qatar wants something, they will never back away, right? So they were kind of playing this chess game to end of the day to see what Ineos will do. But rest assured, they will just always come to the kitchen door, and that's what they did. That was reported. They went straight to the horse's mouth to say, "We're tired of this bidding war. What is the bottom line? What is the premium buyout? Here we have a purchase agreement, and that's it." And since then, it's been quiet, right? So you can think of numerous clues where Rio Ferdinand, that is an ambassador for Qatar, visit Qatar, always said he was 100% sure it's Qatar. He sits on certain information. Point number 3 was the suspicious one regarding our legendary captain Roy Keane all of a sudden promoting the red and white third away kit. Roy Keane promoting anything with Manchester United? He's anti-Glazers like hell. That doesn't make sense. So everything is pointing towards that right direction, to be honest. Like, so Stephen Welch says no real update. Sun is not reliable. I know, Stephen. And I always say, don't stick it where the sun don't shine. Don't trust the sun. But the numerous reports that I've been reading, knowing what I know, has been very, very close and accurate, to be honest. If you can listen to Banks, for instance, on Twitter, and who else do we have? Riz, a lot of people that have been ridiculed, they actually sit on certain information as well. And they've been saying also September, October. So I can sort of take it from there, take it from here. And what I'm saying here, it's up to you to decide as well. But I don't think it's got... not far away from the truth anyway. Yeah, some people know 100% what Mark is saying here. Let me see what Mark... I believe the staff know they're going to be fired when Qatar comes, so they have to try to get the fans behind. Yes, there comes to the story actually where in the past couple of 24 hours after, on the back of the amazing Greenwood situation, you've seen stories about Murtaugh being fired and potentially, like, Richard Arnold putting in his resignation. Because if you go back in timeline, it's been clearly reported that if Night 2 Holding Foundation comes in, they're going to clean the house. That means anything above Erik ten Hag's football operational side means they're going to give it a 90 days, 100 days trial period. But at the end of the day, rest assured that they're going to put in, even there was a report to say they're going to offer some jobs to legends from the 92, class of 92 example. So that gave me some suspicious to see, is Rio Ferdinand part of this? Is Roy Keane part of this since he actually came and promoted? I don't know. It's just speculations, but, it's not conspiracy at the end of the day. Like, it's all there. Like, it's up to you to think at the end of the day. But for me, it looks like if Night 2 Holding Foundation comes in, all the Ed Woodward and stuff needs to go 100%, because it's been far too toxic environment within Carrington, within Mayfair and stuff like that. So I believe that's going to be a clean house. It's going to be some new structure, football operational side. They're going to recruit a proper director of football, and I hope we see a better structure, and also invest in the infrastructure in terms of new stadium and rebuild, Old Trafford, invest in the women's team, and just communicate to the fan base. The way I see it, it's probably putting a chairman that be the spokesperson to the fan base, and that's what the chairman will do, right? Who that would be might be Fadi, it might be, you know, um, I don't know. There's a lot of candidates, to be honest. But if you remember that, I think it was the Luton Town, or I can't remember that CEO of that football club that actually helped the takeover when the Glazers. He's quite credible to say that, when he came out and said 7.2, why would he lie? So anyway, that's just my take on it, guys. Listen, this is mad. Like, I'm totally alone. I have about 200 in the chat room bombarding me. Oh, come to me. If you want to have something, come with a super chat or something, because I cannot read all of this. Too much. Anyway, let's park this. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking. This David Main, your place is saying, wait, hang on, this is too slow. Hang on. Let me just cool and compose. Your place in the cosmos, 100% done. And to me, United stand by the negative times in the thumbnail. Yeah. Anyway, cool. Well, who do you think will come and work with the board? Well, I think that the days of Sir Alex is over. I think the days of David Gill is over. I mean, I think that Sir Alex needs to sort of retire and relax. At the end of the day, like, we need fresh blood in there, and I think that, why not have a Rio Ferdinand in there that loves the club, that is a well outspoken person. I don't know. Hell, even you let me know. Who do you think? I wouldn't mind to have a Roy Keane there to give people bollocking as well. So yeah, that's just what I want as well. But the entire board needs to be removed, and I agree with that. Like, we need to get rid of all the old toxic stuff and get in with new, fresh blood. They understand what Manchester United is all about. They understand football, and to recruit the right people in charge. Anyway, guys, let's continue with the stories. Else, what do we have here? We covered the Murta situation and the Jassim's restructure. Let's talk about Amrabat, should we? Okay, let's talk about Sofyan Amrabat, because that's been some crazy shit going on there as well. Like, if you remember, there was some back end stories. Like, we can forget about Pavard. If absolutely, we covered that as well yesterday. That due to Harry Maguire is potentially not leaving, he's stinking at the place. That means that we told Pavard that you can go ahead to speak to Inter Milan, because we cannot recruit you. And I believe that at the end of the day, if we get rid of Maguire now in January window, Ten Hag will line up a better target than Pavard. But that happened to be available right now, right here. So let's see what's going on here in the ether. Let me find the story and let's unpack it. Yes, this one absolutely set the fan base on fire yesterday regarding Sofyan Amrabat given an ultimatum on futures. Manchester United learned deadline when they can bid. This came out from Corella della Sport. Like, does that ring a little bit of who set the deadline? Let's unpack this story, cool and composed. First, have a drink of my coffees, guys. Okay, Fiorentina has apparently told Sofyan Amrabat to make a decision. So it's basically Fiorentina has actually told Sofyan Amrabat to make a decision by Friday. That doesn't really smell any good. It's just like, why would he make a decision? He already made a decision. Do you understand? He made personal terms agreed with Manchester United. Fiorentina and Manchester United have through intermediates already formality agreement in terms of the fee structure, what the fee is going to be. Sofyan Amrabat agreed with the package about, I think it was 4.4, almost 4.5 million per year, per season. I'm not quick on mathematics, how much that's going to be per week. And they talked about this fee structure, which is 25 million euros plus 5 add-ons. Euros, not pounds, like some media is reporting. That's, if you go back to my exclusive interview with Alfredo Pedula, this has been also clearly said in that interview as well. And Alfredo Pedula is very close to Fiorentina. He's actually a Fiorentina fan, and he's quite depressed that Amrabat is leaving. The Serie A club has set a strict ultimatum in order to avoid the late delays in the window. But here's the thing: they already lined up his replacement. Go back in stories, the CEO has said that they already find replacement, and therefore, according to the BBC, this is BS and Corriere della Sport. So let us just unpack this story and say that, knowing what we know, that he's rejected Liverpool. Klopp called up a second time. He got rejected. Say, nope, I agree terms with Manchester United. Manchester United know the situation. They're trying to get rid of some deadwoods to fund themselves. But with Mason Mount's injury right now, this is most likely going to be speeded up. So let me know what you think. For me, when a deal is agreed principle between the intermediates, that means that it's just a flick of a call as a formality to sort of come to agreement in terms of the payment structure with Fiorentina. That can be very easy like that. It's not that complicated. Why they've been using intermediates is because in the beginning of the transfer market, as per my understanding, is that the focus was to get in Onana, the goalkeeper from Inter. There's been advanced negotiations with Lee Congdon from Atalanta, but in the interim, they've been using intermediates to speak to Fiorentina. So this deal has absolutely been agreed about a couple of weeks ago, and all it is, everyone knows the situation. I'm rumbling, but if you understand in layman's term what it means that the Fiorentina understands Manchester United's situation. Manchester United should be very clear in communication. Amrabat is informed. Amrabat is rejecting everything, and the links where it was with the Real, what's it called, Atletico Madrid as well, that they were in for him was also a little bit, depending on our midfielder. That deal didn't go through to Saudi Arabia, so there's nothing in it. Sofyan Amrabat is deadlocked on to Manchester United. So let me just go and bring up my latest from Alfredo Pedula this morning, because I sent him a question yesterday in the middle of the live stream. So he says it's fake news. Basically what he's saying here is fake news. Amrabat is still on the top of the list, according to SA. Gives a regard to the fan base. And plus he didn't play the last match. So that means that Fiorentina doesn't want to play him. They want to keep him fresh. They don't want to have him injury. If Manchester United wants him today, it's just a matter of a flick of a switch. They just make a call and the deal will be done. He will be updating further during the day. Barabish, barabosh. That's it. I want to hear what you have to say, and let me know what you think. Does this make sense to you guys? Does this make sense? Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Sorry about this. There's chaos. My chat stopped working. It's been overload. Let me see. Yeah, it's working now. Yeah, I can see you guys coming in here. We need some. Let me see. Yeah, Brian is saying we need somebody in ASAP. The first two games has to shown that. Yes, makes perfect sense. What's Jamie Wayne is good. Please, what Jarvis saying, like and subscribe. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on to the next story. What do we have here? We talked about the Amrabat situation. That means that we're going to talk about the Greenwood out situation as well. Listen, we're going to talk about the injury updates, right? What is the team status? Okay, we all heard it yesterday. Manchester United injury updates regarding Mason Mount. And it looks like he's going to be out for at least 2-3 games, I think it was. So that means that this puts a lot of pressure on the club to actually, activate the Amrabat deal. Jesus Christ, as it can get any worse, right? But in a way, let's go over the injury, because I want to talk about that one. Because obviously we got a new goalkeeper in terms of Altay Bayindir, the Fenerbahce goalkeeper. And if you can see, for 5 million tells you that Henderson is out of the door as well to, I think it was Crystal Palace as well. So that's one big news as well. But anyway, Fenerbahce, if you remember, good links with Fred, who scored a brace the other day, which is absolutely. But let's look at the team news. What's going on here, people? Yeah, we all seen it regarding the Mason Mount story. He will miss out 2 games before the international break, suffering an issue. He got a knock against Tottenham. So what does that mean? That means that we need to trigger that deal ASAP with Amrabat, according to my opinion. Harry Maguire also set out the Spurs defeat. He will not play. Terrell Malacia is also out. Amad Diallo is out, and Kobe Mainoo as well. Now, this is something that I want to bring up, very important. If you remember this brilliant Alvaro Fernandez, he ain't going nowhere. With the likes of, Terrell Malacia still being injured, we only have one left back then. If Brendan Williams is going to Ipswich, which has been reported as well, on a loan to buy deal, that means that we have to rely on Alvaro Fernandez. And I have no options. I would love that. Personally, I love what I've seen with Alvaro Fernandez. What a talent. Let me know what you think as well. I see you, Muslim Ivan said we need an Amrabat. Jonathan Liljenberg, hi Mick and Jarvis in the VR room. Mark is saying we can talk about fans actually trusting Ten Hag, and then the team. Does that what players want matter? No, 100% not. I can see you guys. But anyway, to round up the story here regarding Mason Mount, I seen that he's being in a lot of critics, and we talked about this yesterday in the podcast. It's the overall system that I don't think the players really understand it yet. Because if you're going to play with, as a sitting only holding midfielder with Casemiro taking 2 men's role, and you got a 6 up front, he can't do it. He's not up to scratch yet. So we need somebody like an Amrabat to come in. That destroyer, that is the Fred, on steroids, even 10 times better than Fred. Has a turbo engine. It can run up and down and do interceptions on the ball and just be that shit house. If you remember, under Herrera type, as well. And a Ryan Gravenberch on loan. Gravenberch, did I say that? Because if you're getting Gravenberch on loan, that means that we are quite good in the midfield. And then you look at Kobe Mainoo coming back from his injury, because Kobe was planned to be integrated within the team. You can see how upset Ten Hag was. And that has to do with playing AstroTurf in the PR Tour. But Pellistri, what about Pellistri? Is he going on a loan? It was reports coming out that Pellistri was asked to go to Sheffield, but at the end of the day, that loan has to be approved by Ten Hag. It's going to be interesting to see if Ten Hag will let him go. At the same time, Pellistri needs game time. I love Pellistri to pieces. He is our little Maradona on that right wing, to be honest. But the thing is, it comes down to Antonio Dos Santos. He needs to step up his game. He's been too one-trick pony, and the judge and jury will be out there. And it's not his fault that he's worth about 100 million. Actually, he's maximum worth 55, according to my opinion. So what is we saying here? The return date will be for Mason Mount, would be approximately 16th September. That means that he's going to be out for 2-3 games. Whoa. Rasmus Højlund is set to start. That is great news. But we cannot put all the weight on Rasmus Højlund's shoulder, guys. Harry Maguire still is stinking out the place. Terrell Malacia, we don't know. We don't know anything about the Terrell Malacia, how long he's going to be out. I don't know. Does anyone know how long Terrell Malacia is going to be out for? Because apparently there's no update. We will take some time to clear up. That's all they're saying. See, Terrell was not part of the whole preseason, right? Kobe, Kobe, no, he'll be back soon, according to that. So listen, guys, there are some injury scares, but apparently now also, I want to talk to you about another situation. Now, I think that Ten Hag was banking. He was told that he could keep Greenwood, and there's something in it because the club released if you remember, the Athletic released something, a kind of a filler, and there was a little bit public backlash. And then he was told that, now this is probably the best way for the club to depart ways. So Ten Hag desperately need a striker. Now, who would that striker be? We talked about Ivan Tony came out yesterday. But there's one person that not going away, and that is the Santos from Brazil. We're talking about Marcos Leonardo. That is still on, to be honest. I've been hearing a little bit because Marcos Leonardo was first linked to go to Jose Mourinho Roma, and that just died out, right? There's been numerous talks, and you know, I'd be quite excited, but he's still a youngster, but he is kind of a little bit of a hybrid, what Mason Greenwood is and what Anthony Martial is. So he offers a slightly different. He's a goal scoring machine. We did a video, a scouting video, me and Jarvis, regarding Marcus Leonardo. So if you do go back into the video, have a look at it and let me know what you think as well. Wow, that's been a lot. I need a coffee. Like and subscribe, people. Malasia has been back. What? Let me see what you are guys are saying. I'm sorry. La 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 la. La. Will Greenwood affect FFP? No, he will not. He will not affect FFP. The Beans, if they loan him out, they will take care of his wage bill. So that is actually positive. But the club is not released any further statement. They're going to sell him. They see him as an asset. So if there be something a loan to buy, there is something they're going to discuss. I fear that he might go to Fenerbahce or to Italian league. I don't want to really talk about it anymore. It's a little bit dubious. They haven't really said. It's been left open, to be honest. So let me see what King Stash is saying. I'm just going to go back to your comments, guys. Our biggest mistake was to make Bruno captain. Bruno should not be the captain. The captain of Man United should be the player that everyone will go to war with. And who would that be, my friend, King Stash? I think that I don't know who is a good communicator. I mean, I think Bruno is a good leader. The way he speaks, maybe he should be less petulant. But I am absolutely pissed off with Michael Oliver. Gave him a yellow. Actually, according to the new rules, only the captain can speak to the ref, right? Talk to the hand. He did that and got yellow. Gosh, what the hell? Anyway, let me see. Ivan Tony is what my Mark is saying here. What do you have to say, Mark? Let me see. Ivan Tony was charged with gambling against his own club. Yeah, true. Bet365. It's interesting, but he's a good striker. Every time I see him play, I have nothing against him. What he does in his personal life, that is up to them. I don't know. I don't know. It was just paper talk out of the back of bad loss and a lot of things. I think it was spun out by Neil Ashton in his PR plates, if you know what I mean. Neil Ashton, the PR guru. Brian Moran is saying, what are you saying, Brian? Let me see. Brian Moran is saying, great show today. Yes, thank you, Brian. I'm absolutely gassed up. Let me see. Joe Santani. There's so many new of you guys. Big up for providing me energy. Wow. Let me see what you... Bruno, don't go to war. Bruno, go to Mars. Yeah. Girl, you're amazing just the way you are. King Stash, what do you have to say, King Stash? We can't play Ten Hag football with the captain that can't follow the instructions of the manager. You mentioned that. It's a good point, mate. Ten Hag compromise for him to put him out the wing because he's careless in the possession. The thing is, we spoke about this yesterday. Bruno is played out of position. Bruno, according to me, the best of Bruno that you see when he was playing that free roaming role with Erik ten Hag, that person that can roam free as a number 10, but he's just waste on number 10. And then Mason Mount, if you're going to play Mason Mount, you play him as attacking on the right wing, on the right side, left. But Mason Mount, according to some Chelsea fans, are saying, why are you playing him defensive? That's a waste of time. So there is a system where both can play, but it all comes down to that you need to get an Amrabat in to play in that pivot. You can definitely play like 4 in the midfield. But I also believe that people don't really understand what Onana is all about if you're going to play out from the back, because it comes down to 3 transitions. Onana ball to the passing on to, let's say Martinez transports the ball up to Amrabat carries the ball up to Rasmus Højlund, XYZ. So I think that players still are trying to adapt to the new system. Onana hasn't really been there for 3 weeks, so it's still an adaptation period, according to my opinion. Players and the defenders are still living with De Gea. You can clearly see against Wolves how Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka was still, pin back deep, right? But I think they got it against Spurs, at least in the second half. But without any shadow of doubt, the team look unfit, and I hope to see some response over the weekend. Anyway, guys, that's a bit. It's been like 45 minutes rumbling along. Let me see what David Main. Yeah, some people saying, some people are happy with Bruno Fernandes as a captain. I'm happy. I'm just happy that we see good football and we actually start playing, getting 3 points over the line every game we play. What is Joe Santani saying? Joe, did I read Santai? Yeah. Question: do you think our training facilities and even the atmosphere needs lots of improvements as to boost up the morale of the play? Yes, 100%. 100%. And that is something they are going to invest in. If you remember when Cristiano Ronaldo came in, what the hell is this? The same showers, the same gym equipment. Definitely, we need that. 100%. Um, let's see, John. Oh, break. We have some breaking news from one of our key members and moderators. Breaking in: Jean-Claire Tobias is nearing to move for M. Whoa, whoa! L'Equipe Sport. That's breaking news then. That Jean-Claire to be. I can't even say the name, man. I'm dyslexic. Is nearing a move to Manchester United despite Harry Maguire staying. Wow, that is huge. You know what I'm thinking, Jamie Wayne here? I thinking that Ten Hag has been very clear in his communication with his agent. When everyone came back from preseason, they sit down to say, "I'm taking you off your captaincy. You have not improved. I gave you chances. I'm not going to play you. You're going to play training with the reserves. You're not going to get game time. So better look for another opportunity." They had a principal agreement with West Ham, where everything was aligned. They even negotiated 30 million. But the only thing that stopped him was his agent to say, I want something bigger. I don't want to downgrade. And they try to extort the money, which they have contractually right to ask for. Like that was trying to extort the money for 50 million, pay us 50 million and we will leave, or 9 million. At the end of the day, what's better, to go or sit on a bench? You're a footballer. I see. I really hope the club is working hard within the next 9 days to get him out, because there's nothing worse to have people that don't want to be there. They're not getting game time. They're going to sort of provide a toxic environment in the dressing room. We've seen that before, and it's going to create leaks. So some people want Ivan Toney in the house. Let me see. Good to see you, Mick. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for great jobs. I hope you all warmed up. I'm absolutely 52 likes. What's going on here? How hard do I have to work to get up to 100 likes? Big up, Stephanie. Thank you for being a mama in the moderation. Let's get up for 100 likes. Great show. What people are saying. Stockport is saying, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Let me see. I'm so behind in the chat room. Good morning, what Charlie's saying. Listen, I have an announcement to make before I continue. Charlie, the Glazers suck. Good morning, United fans all around the world. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Glazers out, Glazers out. Definitely. Listen, regarding the protest, guys, I need to cover this because I have a message for you. Whoever's going there, right? I promise to deliver this message for 1958 and United against the Glazers. So I'm just going to pull up this message that I received this morning. And it's very important. If you're going, let me see. Bear with me. All right, guys. Let me see here. I'm just going to read this out for you. So, whoever is going to the protest, listen, I'm sorry I haven't Jurgen Klopp there, Jurgen Flop, but we can still laugh about it, right? It's a must. Protest is planned for Wolves and Forest. Home games, as club sale is a stalemate, according to them as well, right? As mentioned above, we approach the start of the new season. There's a huge amount of frustration and lack of progress within the sale of the club. It is clear we need a new investment for major projects within the stadium itself, requiring major investments to bring it up to the standard of our competitors like Real Madrid. Clearly, Manchester United should not be settling for second best in any department. 100%. Protest plans are both for Wolves and Forest. Home games have been now circulated on social media. It's been spread. The 1958 group, we have a long establishment principle of supporting the right of the fans to participate in a peaceful and lawful protest. That is why they are now publicizing, and that's why I'm talking to you guys. If you're planning, the protest details will be announced at 6:30 p.m. at the Trinity. Flags and banners, voices to promote the forest sit-in, 100%. It will be a 60-minute sit-in, full time, united together defiance. On warning, this is very important. You choose to join protests, please be aware that sitting down or flares, smoke bombs, especially on the stadium footprint, result in several sanctions with loss of season tickets and 3-year bans for fans. So please make sure that you protest peacefully, lawfully at all times. With all due respect, 1958 and United against the Glazers, guys. So I am personally not going to be able to go there protest. I'm going to cover it on this channel. Whoever, if you're going to the protest, please keep it civil. Protest what is going to be announced, how to do it. I think this is the final push, to send those leeches out as far as they can, never to be seen again. Cut the ponytail off, and off we go. New dawn, new coming. Big up to all of you. Support the 1958 for the protest. Glazers are green and gold until we're finally announced and sold. 100% what people are saying. If you're going there, please, protest peacefully. That's all I can say. Listen, I have nothing more to say other than to shout out everyone that's been in the chat. If I missed any super chats, I do apologize. I haven't seen if I got anyone. If I missed, let me know right now before I close the shop. Jack Herigati, sorry. Thank you for your donation of your coffee. And yeah, this has been astute, guys. This has been amazing. And we are coming back later on tonight. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Woohoo! I'm all round up. Mick Ruby here with Mufc Realist TV. Thank you. I had my say. Please leave a comments below. Let me know what your feelings are. See you later tonight, about 9 p.m. UK time. We are running up with Rantins League. We're going to preview the game, and we're also going to look at the overall Fantasy League football. We do run a Fantasy League football team as well with Mufc Realist TV, but also we're going to look at the overall game prediction. We're going to sit down as a community, and we're going to sort of go game by game of the weekend, and we're going to do prediction as a community. But listen, guys, I had my say. I'm absolutely exhausted, and I hope I give you back the day. I hope you enjoy the show, and don't forget to buy me a coffee if you want to have more rant, because I'm out of juice, guys. I'm out of here. Thank you. See you later tonight, and don't forget, as I said, if you haven't liked and subscribed, do it now. Thank you, guys. See you later. Bye for now.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.